With the F1 world still reeling from the announcement that Andretti's bid for entry in 2025 has been ignominiously rejected, this little piece of silly season gelignite has just entered the fray. According to just about every credible news source under the sun, Sir Lewis Hamilton has entered the final stage of negotiations to join Ferrari in 2025. The seven-time world champion is currently contracted to the Silver Arrows until the end of 25, but has an option to leave at the end of next season if he so chooses. I frankly can't believe this. There have been whispers about a possible move like this for years, but none have ever gained as much traction as this, with the likes of Sky Sports, Motorsport.com and the Intercooler all affirming its validity. The validity of a move that, it's safe to say, no one saw coming. Except him.
What you see before you is a copy of Motorsport Magazine's July 2023 issue, in which we find a column by one Johnny Herbert, three-time Grand Prix winner, well-known pundit, and a man who, to put it mildly, does not shy away from the occasional Formula One hot take. In it, he addresses the recent speculation that surrounded the 2023 Monaco Grand Prix about Hamilton possibly moving to Ferrari, and states that, if it were to happen, it's a move that would make perfect sense to him, serving as the ideal platform for an 8th world title. He describes it as a risk, which is an understatement to say the least, but explicitly claims that Hamilton's departure would A. encourage some of the sport's brightest technical minds to potentially return to the Scuderia, and B. might actually result in Hamilton bringing some technical personnel from Mercedes along with him.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard that, I thought Herbert was borderline high. Like I said, rumours of a Hamilton-Ferrari partnership have been coming and going since at least 2019, but with all those aforementioned outlets claiming that the move is essentially a done deal, I think old Johnny can lay claim to have been ahead of the curve on this one. Lurking beneath all this chaos lies a secondary issue, one of Carlos Sainz Jr., who finds himself out of contract with the Scuderia at the end of 2024. There's been a bunch of alleged unease within Ferrari as of late, with Sainz wanting a long-term deal roughly comparable with that of his teammate Charles Leclerc. Needless to say, such a deal has not materialized, but with regards to this issue, even major outlets like The Race have been citing people like Alex Albon as a more viable replacement than Hamilton. So where does this leave Carlos? He's been linked to the forthcoming Audi project for some time now, but that would require him to, let's face it, take a risk and spend a year with the rebranded Stake F1 team. Or he could just swap places with Hamilton and nab that Mercedes seat, but there is an important variable to consider with regards to that option. Andrea Kimi Antonelli. An absolute demon in the lower divisions, the teenager is currently set to tackle the 2024 Formula 2 season with Prima, having effectively skipped Formula 3. A young driver skipping a year in the junior formula? Does that remind you of anyone? Suffice to say, this kid is something truly special, and having been part of the Mercedes junior team since 2019, do not rule out the possibility of him being essentially fast-tracked into the Mercedes team alongside George Russell next year. Yeah. Suffice to say that having been the sole non-Red Bull race winner in 2023 and arguably proven his worth against his teammate, Carlos Sainz Jr.'s future is currently very far from secure. So what do I make of all this? The move I never saw coming. Seriously, I honest to God thought Hamilton was going to be with Mercedes forever, having achieved his highest of highs with them and stuck around through, let's be honest, thick and thin. And though he is still driving at a very high level, there's no denying the fact that at 39 years old, age is no longer on Hamilton's side. In fact, I'd argue that with every passing month, age and experience works against Hamilton, while simultaneously working for the young guns of today. I've maintained for a while that title number 8 is not going to happen, and as cruel as it may sound, I think this kind of seals it. Mercedes' recent form has been a letdown, of that there's no doubt, but Ferrari hasn't exactly been a model of consistency itself. Never mind the flurry of car troubles and strategic blunders that plagued their 2023 and 2022 campaigns, Ferrari hasn't produced a championship-capable car for 3 years on the bounce since 2006 through 8. Add to the equation a hungry Charles Leclerc, around whom that team has basically been built, and the chances of Hamilton winning another title are pretty slim. Let's not forget that when things spiral at the Scuderia, they spiral hard. Just look at Vettel, Alonso, even Alain Prost. I don't think there is any legacy that is immune to at least a minor bruising at the hands of Ferrari. So why has he done it? Personally, I think he just wants to end his career on a celebratory note, by driving for the most famous team of them all. One that has the makings of a decent environment, it must be said. Hamilton knows current team principal Fred Vasseur from his days in GP2, and rumours abound of long-time race engineer Pete Bonington jumping ship with him. But there is one last thing we ought to consider. Hamilton's hero. Before his passing, Ayrton Senna hinted on more than one occasion that his career would be incomplete unless he drove for Ferrari. Esteemed journalist Richard Williams has publicly stated that he considered these remarks to be genuine and not some flight of fancy. Maybe Hamilton wants to make the move his idol was never able to make, to round off the most decorated Formula One career of all time with a stint at the most fabled team of them all. He might not get that elusive 8th World Championship, but Sir Lewis Hamilton has long since secured his status as one of the greatest ever drivers in racing history. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed that, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all very, very soon.